was reaching for the coffee then because I thought it was going to take so long for that incredible sustain to end.
It could well have done.
That I could caffeinate myself. Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
Welcome to Andertons.
And it isn't Christmas, so Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
In fact, it's probably even that was about 3 weeks ago. So yes, as you can probably tell from Chappers' hat, we are right in the middle of the Christmas festivities, and Orange have brought down these wonderful new amplifiers that are top secret until...
Sorry, a little bit of coffee went the wrong way.
Want a slap?
Yeah. That's better, thank you.
Better. So yeah, we can't tell you about this, otherwise they threaten to kill us.
I'm probably a dad by now. I don't know, I might be by now.
Let's hope it's all gone well. Yes. So congratulations, Rob.
Possibly. Congratulations, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're all praying and fingers crossed, everything like that. So, congratulations to Nat too, if it's now. Although I don't think it is. I think you're due a little bit after when this video will come. So,
okay, we'll find out.
Well, you never know. Yeah, so we've been told to keep these secret until the NAMM show, which I think is something like January 17th or January 18th.
Yeah, don't tell anybody, Lee.
But earlier on this year, was it earlier this year or was it late last year? Orange made a bizarre decision earlier on last year. Do you know what? When we do these videos and we're not putting the video out at the time it actually is, it's so confusing. But at some point in history, Orange discontinued the Tiny Terror and everybody sort of went, what are you doing? What are you doing? And this has been the first kind of new valve amplifier since then, and it's kind of not really a direct replacement for Tiny Terror, but it kind of fills a hole. So we have the Rocker 15 and the Rocker 30, which are...
Rocker 32, bro.
Rocker 32, it's all about the extra two. I'm chucking you so many innuendos, you're not picking any of them.
I'm trying my hardest, because I might be a dad by now. I've got to be careful, man. I mean, you already are, you know.
So... they're kind of like OR15-y voiced things, but obviously in combos. 10-inch speakers. This one has one 10-inch speaker. This one has two 10-inch speakers. So, you know, whether if you like one 10 or two 10s, you know, that's obviously your
bag
decision. They're both very simple. So they're both two channels. So you've got a clean channel and a distortion channel. The clean channel has no EQ, no master volume, no nothing. It's just a knob for volume. The gain channel has gain, volume, and a 3-band EQ. You have a half power and a full power mode. So 15 or 7 watts on this, or 32, or I guess, what's that going to drop down to? 15, 16 watts, something like that. And then it has, what did they call it? Bedroom to, no, what did they call that? It was
headroom to bedroom.
Headroom to bedroom.
Yeah.
Well done, whoever thought of that at Orange. It's quite catchy and rhymey.
Yeah.
But that will then drop your amp down to either 1 watt in full power mode or half a watt in half power mode. So they're your bedroom settings. Yes. You're either your half watt or your 1 watt. I had to think about that for a minute then. They are Orange-esque in their tone, as you would expect, which I think means they'll do everything from that kind of crunchy, clean, fat gain sound through to very
heavy
fuzzy kind of gainy sounds. So it depends on what you like. I find Orange amplifiers quite different to set up. Most amplifiers, you know, if you want big fat gain, you can run the gain relatively hot, and that's...
You've got to think of the gain being tied to the volume.
Yeah.
So if the volume's halfway up, you can put more gain in. If the volume is quite low, you want to have less gain.
Yeah.
Because otherwise what you get is that kind of slight fizz, that kind of martially kind of tone that we're familiar with. So you've got to drive it to allow the gain, is what I was taught by Aid. But don't think of these as rocker verb.
No.
Because they got the word rocker, don't think they're like the rocker verb saturated, kind of lead, kind of almost Soldano-y kind of gain, if you will forgive me the Soldano thing. These are way more vintagey vibed, I would say. So I mean, from my amp...
You in clean, or are you going clean? Or are you going...
What's clean?
Okay, don't do clean.
And how do I turn this delay off? Like that? Yeah, there you go. But I could add in a
really
lot more.
low gain, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got it very low gain. So I've got on the floor, I've got an But if I didn't have the Angry Charlie on the floor, of course you could just add in a little bit of the gain, just with a simple reverb in the loop, and again you still get.
Very atmospheric, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So there's a little secret ingredient in the 2x10 that we haven't really told you about, but you may, if you've been listening on headphones or with some stereo speakers, may have worked out. The amplifier actually has two power sections, which allows to have a stereo effects return. So almost, to be honest with you, the Rocker 32 pretty much is like two of these in one box. So what Rob was doing there was feeding the effects return of a Strymon timeline in stereo back into the amp, allowing you, any stereo effect that you've got, whether it's a sort of a pulsating delay or a chorus or anything that has a stereo output and changes. I can't believe I've said the word pulsating and Danish Pete has giggled like a naughty schoolboy. You did.
Let's just
So you get the idea. So listen with headphones, and you'll maybe. I think it was setting B.
Well,
wasn't
now
it?
now I'm on the clean channel for the battery
Okay.
goodness, and you can.
That's great. So you if you're just using the combo not mic'd up, the stereo imaging just adds like an extra layer of dimension. Although the two speakers are pretty close together, so you don't get sort of crazy big terrible arthritis. You don't get like crazy stuff, but of course what we're doing and what you could do at bigger venues, of course, is we've mic'd up the two speakers in stereo, and then it's up to you how hard you pan the kind of the left and the right thing through the front of house or through your interface if you're recording or whatever. and then of course you can get those epic, introduction type delay things where you're really hearing big swirling kind of panning.
London
noises.
Grammar, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that kind of thing. Even a little bit of Dorje.
Yeah.
There's some of those big things that Rabir does when.
Yeah.
It's all very cool.
Big things.
He's a stereo man.
Yeah. I'm an analog man.
Like what was his name? The Eagles man.
I love that tune.
What was the album? Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh.
Just had to literally go through the memory banks.
I thought you were going to do something funny and say
No, I just had to go through the memory banks of who did Analog Man, and I just thought...
absolutely love the song Analog Man. If you've not listened to Analog Man by Joe Walsh, it's on my iPhone right now.
I read on a forum once, so it must be true, and I think it was an interview with Joe Walsh. Do you know what amp Joe Walsh used to record all the guitar parts on Analog Man?
Oh, I'm going to say it's a Fender, a little tiny practice Fender.
The Fender Mustang.
Oh, there you go.
The 15-watt Fender Mustang.
Yeah. I think it's all down to Joe Walsh's fingers.
I'm sure it is.
He probably never washes them. They've got tone dust on them. And anything he touches, it's just...
Tone gloves.
It's like, if he was to touch your guitar,
another idea,
it would just immediately resonate.
That's what we need to do with our snake oil guitar effects. With our snake oil guitar effects line that we're going to bring out, is tone gloves.
Yeah, we got this idea. Someone accused us of being snake oil salesmen.
Yeah.
And then Lee went, why don't we actually sell snake oil? And it could be like fretboard lubricant, and we'd brand it snake oil. And then we'd do snake oil strings, snake oil straps. Everything, yeah.
Copyright, trademark.
Yeah.
November 2016, even though it's not. Anyway.
Yeah. Captain Lee and Chappers Incorporated.
Let me do some tones on the smaller one. So the smaller one, they're both the same speakers. 2 in this one in this one. They are the orange Voice of the World speakers, which are their own brand of speaker.
2 in the orange, 1 in the orange.
Apparently so. I am going to do this on full power, and there are no effects built into these amplifiers, so any reverbs, delays, anything you hear like that are coming from external devices. It's a lovely clean sound. A lot more bass than you would perhaps expect from a small...
Why don't you whack on that pedal?
Well, that's just a boost, so that won't really do a lot over the clean sound. So if I go to the dirty sound, and again, we'll start with the gain at about 10 o'clock. Got that nice break-up kind of tone. If we wind the game round to like, my favourites around about the sort of 12 to 1 o'clock. Is that too loud?
Yeah.
Turn it down a smidgen, it is a bit loud. And then you can I've got my boost pedal on the floor now. And I think that's how I'd use this amp, as like a 3-channel, so
on
clean.
The back, you could also make it much quieter, couldn't you?
I could. I'm just going to take the gain, max it out to show you, and I've taken the boost off now to show. This is where I kind of don't really like it, but each to his own. Just a smidgen too harsh in the top end.
I actually thought that sounded all right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm having an interesting consideration now as to whether or not they've specifically voiced it for people to play with a lot of gain.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah, I think they might have done it, because if you have it less than that, it doesn't sound as good. I'm just wondering whether they've specifically gone, kids are going to want all the gain, a little bit of volume. Yeah. So lots of gain, a little bit of volume seems to work. But then if you bring the volume into normal, everyday kind of you're playing with a friend, that kind of gain really won't work.
Now, one of the things that I think Orange have taken on board here is that the full to half power mode never really solved the problem of people who wanted to play at home. You know, the old-fashioned Tiny Terror, at 15 watts you could gig with that, no problem. And at 7 watts, it was still a relatively giggable amplifier. It just created an amp that went a little bit more spongy and a little bit sort of browner sounding, less headroom, that kind of thing. But it wasn't a bedroom mode. I'll try and demo, let's get a sort of a reasonably loud sound on full power and then just show you what half power sounds. So that's kind of about halfway up on the volume and just a little bit over half on the gain. And then
that sounds great.
Half power. It is quieter, but by no means quiet enough.
There's just a less low end in the mix.
That literally was I just switched between half power and full power. So you can kind of see it doesn't really solve the home problem.
It also really shows you that these amps are designed to be driven. They're supposed to be played loud.
Oh, so I've just now switched it into the bedroom mode. And
it's going to make you a cocoa and sort of stroke your hair slightly for you.
Haven't changed any of the settings from how loud it was before. That's still loud enough to annoy the parents, so let's go half power bedroom mode. It obviously hasn't got that joyous feeling of air moving and naughtiness.
Yeah, but it still sounds good,
its
though.
Its basic tone is good.
What this is that I taught Lee Creeping Death, and he's been trying to practice it.
I haven't. It literally, Rob showed it to me yesterday because I felt bad that I'd never been a Metallica fan, and then about a week ago, I thought, I must listen to Master of Puppets. I'm just going to put it on. I'm going to listen to the whole album all the way through.
It's a great album.
I struggled. I must admit, I was getting to the point after like 6 or 7 tracks thinking, I don't think I can do this. But I get it. At least I felt it was important because I know how influential they've been to millions of guitar players. So I felt I had to
and the new album, it's really good.
I haven't heard it, so...
It's not your thing. But I honestly, I was like, oh God, it's going to be, but it's actually really good. Yeah.
Okay, so pricing on these are, as I said, these are full fat valve amplifiers, so, come with a full fat valve amplifier price. $599 for the 1x10 and about 800 quid. I think it's 829 or something like that for the 2x10. They are the official UK prices as of January 2017.
And what's great is by January, hopefully the pound will have increased in value, so it'll be worth more to you.
Perhaps.
Yes.
And we'll have a Mad Dog as the Secretary of Defence in America.
Will we?
Yeah, have you not heard that this morning?
No.
General Mad Dog something or other his name is. So that's going to sound good, isn't it?
The guy that absolutely said that he liked killing people and he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he said the Afghans have been slapping their women around for the last 5 years, so I enjoyed going and shooting a few of them.
Yeah, that's good.
World peace. We are. So there we go. Look, that's
go on, give us all the gains.
All the gain.
Yeah, in that bedroom setting.
At its
bedroom shredder.
This is bedroom shredder. So this is the volume about as low as it'll go, the gain as high as it will go. And now it sounds like one of those little battery-powered amplifiers. You wouldn't spend 700 quid though to get that sound, would you?
Well, some people will.
No, I think it's... I'm not, and this isn't even anything against the rocker. I just think, if you're buying a valve amplifier...
You're buying it to play loud, aren't you?
Yeah, if you're buying a 15-watt valve amplifier and 97% of your playing time is at that volume level, you've just bought the wrong thing.
No, of course. Yeah, of course.
Really, this is an amp that wants to be unleashed. These are both amps that, they are little mini beasts that like pit bull terriers on a lead, literally trying to, get
Now, Lee, that's breedist.
All right, I'll scrap that bit then. These are like some sort of rabid dog on a leash that's just like, let me off, I want to kill something.
It's like 2 amplifiers that are really raring to go in a gig, and they want to go.
They are like, maybe it's here's a less politically incorrect. It's like a racehorse. It's like a stallion racehorse that literally all it wants to do is just gallop as fast as it can to get from A to B.
It's like,
and you've literally gone, no, can we just sidle in?
It's like Donald Trump on a bungee rope looking at a field of oil going, oh, I want to get the oil.
It's like literally having a nuclear bomb and thinking, all I want to do is just literally kill that ant down there, and you drop it and wipe out half a country.
Which is really, really wrong.
So every level of wrong. Post below your best analogy for why these amplifiers are great for gigging, but less. Well, why valve amplifiers, are good for gigging and not so good for home use.
Get you laid.
Is that an analogy? Or is it if you take some of the words out of analogy, do you get halfway there? I don't even know. There we go.
Well, I've been Rob Chapman.
And I've been the captain.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Rory from the UK. Tell me about Rory.
So he edits videos. Rory's awesome.